speaking of the new album, I want to go through some of the tracks here, but more specifically some of the lines in the tracks. You're just so clever when you find, and I bet you're really proud of some of the turns of phrases that you can pull. I'll pick one in particular, sip Capri Sun like it's Dom Perignon. There's got to be a few of these that you're most proud of.
Yeah, that one was a little help from our friend Paul Meany, who helped produce that track. I think it is crazy when you look at a piano and you see all the keys, you realize all music is there somehow. It's just some different combination of stuff. Similarly, the English language, it's all there. It's just you putting it together in a different combination. And it's amazing how many variations of things you can say that hasn't been said yet.
And it's kind of bizarre, too, when you hear something like sip Capri Sun like Dom. Why have I not thought of that yet?
Yeah, right. But how many songs are being released every day, too? There's some crazy stat, like, thousands and thousands of songs are being uploaded every day that are new songs. And yet still we're finding new songs.
Yeah.
Not that we're not influenced by previous songs or previous artists, but I think that's a cool.
So let's go with it's the fear of the unknown that cripples every step we take. It's pretty heavy. There's some heavy ones in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's not for me. It's for a friend. Denial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is this the story of Clancy? What are we trying to say with these guys?
Yeah, I think that depending on the song, we weave in and out of the narrative throughout the record. We've always kind of done that. We've never really wanted the story of Clancy that we've been telling for the last decade to necessarily be a story that a listener is super familiar with in order to enjoy the record.
Sure.
So you kind of have to treat it as a bit of a parable, I guess. I know for me personally, it's hard for me not to write from a personal experience, and so the character of Clancy in a lot of ways embodies me. I think that's understood at this point, and sometimes it's nice to, I guess, trick your brain to think that you're writing about someone else when really you're dipping into personal stuff.
Right.
And so it's a bit of a tactic.
I think that the comfort that you have about talking about mental health is actually really important, and it's sort of a thread through this album. I don't know if you want to speak to that or not, because you find some really vulnerable spots in this project.
Yeah, I do think that it is. We're so lucky to be here, having done this for 12 plus years now, and a lot has changed since we started doing it. We've personally changed. Live music. I guess maybe live music's the thing that's changed the least, but the way that people listen to music has changed. The way people share music has changed. What people are writing about in music has changed a lot. I think that it did feel for me. Well, first, let's get something straight. When I first started writing music, I didn't think anyone would hear it, and so there was a honesty that just naturally there that is hard to recreate, because now I know that if we write a song, people are going to hear it. And but then that, because people resonated with it early on, the honesty, I realized that honesty was really important. And so we started writing songs honestly. Hopefully that's at least how they were perceived and accepted. I do think that we now live in a time of music where culturally we are it's way more common in a good way for people to be writing about mental health and about their own personal struggles and what they're going through. And so now I guess it seems to be a part of our overall musical culture more than it was when we first started doing it. And because of that, I feel less inclined to articulate what a song is specifically, because I think we all know, we're all familiar with the terminology of depression and what it could mean and how it could impact someone. We know someone with it. And as a culture, we're more aware of diagnosing it personally or with someone we know. And so I do feel like there's a bit of we're all speaking the same language now as we release music. I feel comfort in that, knowing that we're now in a culture that feels like way more accepting of that conversation.